Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. As discussed in my previous video, a living entity who identifies himself or herself with the mind body complex has his or her inner equipments like gross body, etheric senses, astral mind, and causal intelligence, scorched by the heat generated by the sun of his or her good, bad, indifferent, and evil deeds, especially the evil deeds. When they are so scorched, this heat, which has been generated by such action, is cooled down only by the continuous rain of ambrosia of desirelessness, and thus the living entity at last becomes happy. In this video, we will talk about a second case study. This guy's name was Laxman. He was born and brought up in a place called Bombay, which is the commercial capital of India in the western area of the subcontinent. This fellow was quite wayward and unruly. His parents tried their level best to straighten him up, but this fellow was too adamant. He refused to go to school and to study like other children. Soon he started loitering around, and one day he ran away from his boarding school and came back to his house. His parents were very perturbed. At that time, while he was loitering around aimlessly like a fool, one day he had a fracas with somebody in the locality and he knifed that person. Immediately, the police came and arrested this fellow and put him in juvenile delinquency school. More trouble was in store for him. Here he came across some equally evil and mischievous boys of his age, and he got friendly with them. When he returned from the school, his parents disowned this fellow. So he again started loitering around and then soon came across his delinquency school friends. These guys put him in touch with some serious gangsters and he became a gang member himself. There he took part in brawls, fracas, gang wars, smuggling, and other such petty crimes, and he got some money out of that. When this fellow tried to give this money to his parents, they not only refused to take it, but they threw him out of the house. Once this fellow was out of the house, he became a full-fledged criminal and gangster and began getting neck deep into all sort of nefarious activities like extortion, brawls, gang wars, murders, attempted murders, etc. Soon he was arrested and now he was put into the prison regularly. As far as Laxman was concerned, the prison became almost his second home. In fact, he felt very comfortable when he was fettered and imprisoned. One day, while he was an adult and by that time a regular criminal and history cheater, a face in the Mumbai underworld, he was caught doing something and imprisoned again. There he began reading novels. One day, one guy came to him and his friends and gave them a copy of a book written by none other than Mahatma Gandhi. Initially bored, this guy, just to do some time pass, began reading this book. That was the time when his mind changed completely. His own evil deeds began scorching his inner equipments. Mahatma Gandhi had said, unless and until you kill the evil within, you will remain evil from outside also. If you want to change the world, you have to change yourself. This guy began reading this once, twice, thrice, and soon became contemplative and quiet. This fellow resorted to meditation and tried to turn a new leaf. Now he was genuinely contrite and ashamed of his previous behavior. When he was at last released from the jail, he became a social worker, joined an NGO, and began distributing Mahatma Gandhi's books to the public and began trying to help other wayward kids like him and bringing them straight into the society, in the mainstream of society, by helping them think of positive things and leave their negative vibes behind. Today that boy is working in a factory as well as he is a social worker in an NGO and has made a name for himself as a genuinely nice person. It was the case of dacoit Ratnakar turning author of Ramayana Maharshi Valmiki. Even a dirtiest person can become clean anytime he or she wants. This is an example to prove this point. There have been many saints with dark past who changed their ways and turned a new leaf somewhere along the way of their journey towards either evil or good, either hell or heaven. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk about this case study. Let us also turn a new leaf, become good, do good deeds, have positive thinking, be helpful to the society, become self-realized, abide in the self, get delivered and liberated, at last attain a Brahman and go back to Godhead. That is the purpose of this life. We should never indulge in something which we will regret later. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.